Okay, we're live. Hello, Internet. We're live. We are the Nerd Ledger. We are the nerds. I'm Cage dash Chair. We are
Chair. Yep.
here. We are on the Internet, you know, as always. Um, hope everyone is doing well. Last week we tried to podcast but had all sorts of issues. My computer decided to restart like 10 minutes in, so, not much happened, to be honest.
Yep.
But it's Wednesday. How's it going, Sir Chair? Sir Chair, how are you?
I'm okay. It's been a long week. Last week our server that we had the printer service on, this hard disk died. It failed to read anymore, so I have to do all that. And I got upgrades for my computer. I put in a new video card, and it turned out that the power supply I got didn't have cables that were long enough, so that was a little stressful. I had to get some extensions and stuff like that, and redo my whole cabling job. Um, but I can play Cyberpunk with ray tracing on it, steady 60 FPS, so it's worth it. Video,
Jesus.
it's awesome, dude. It looks so freaking good. And what else? That's honestly just about it. I've just been, just chilling and relaxing, and just trying to manage stress levels and stuff like that. Fun fact, I'm on my way back to law school though. Like I'm
Oh,
got everything all figured out. So they said I can apply basically like whenever, and I don't need to take the LSAT because I went to the previous school. But I think I'm still gonna take the LSAT and see where I get after about a month or two of studying.
yeah.
So yeah, we'll see what happens, and then just plugging along, just taking it day by day, year by year.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Yep,
Jesus.
yep.
Hold on. I have some weird feedback, but that's fine.
Oh, no.
It's probably fine. It's probably fine.
Is it
Um,
me or is it
no, I don't know what it is, but it doesn't really matter. Yeah. So today we're really just gonna probably catch up on some news because there's
shoot the
some.
shit? Yeah, yeah, shoot the
Um,
shit because there's nothing going on right now.
yeah. I mean, there's like stuff, but like it's really boring. But at least there's some news today that like brings up some interesting topics, I guess,
Hmm.
or at least makes me think about things and have opinions. So then there's an actual conversation to be had,
Yep.
as opposed to just like, oh, this person maybe was cast, and there's a rumor, and here's another rumor, and blah blah blah. It's really annoying.
Hmm.
Especially when like people I talk to like just repeat stupid ass rumors to me every day, and I'm just like, bro,
Nah.
did you read this shit, bro? Like the one that came up recently is like Disney's looking to bring back Iron Fist, but as a woman or some shit and whatever. And all the articles I found, they're just so bad. They're all like based off of fucking rumors that like literally one of them said the source was whispers on the internet.
Hmm.
Come on, man. Like people really get mad about this shit.
Yeah, they do.
Which is one of the topics because of something. There's like a blog post that George R. R. Martin did. Apparently,
Hmm.
people wrote about it. So he did talk about toxicity and shit, and
Yep.
so that's a good topic. But let me catch you up on something, okay?
Okay.
So in the newest chapter of my car saga,
Hmm.
uh, something that happened last week was like like a week and a half ago, I was pretty annoyed about just like how long this shit is taking because
Hmm.
like bruh, my car's been at the shop since December 15th. It's been
Yep.
almost 2 months, and like I'm not really hearing anything, and so um like every time I talk to the insurance adjuster, they just say, "Oh, we've approved the work to be done." They're gonna do it, and then every time I talk to the shop, they're like, "Well, they're not approving, the updated estimate, so we can't start work." And I'm just like,
Hmm.
"Bruh, like I'm tired of this shit." So I ended up calling like just the insurance directly again,
Yep.
and like the person on the phone was like, "Well, I can't really help you. Like you have to talk to your adjuster." And I was like, "Well, what the like I can talk to him, but all he's gonna do is tell me the same thing, and then I'm gonna talk to the shop, and they're gonna tell me the same thing. And bro, my car's been there for 6 weeks, and nothing's happening. Like I have to rent a car, and I can't afford to fucking rent a car because you guys only cover up to so much. Like
Yep.
imagine if I had rented a car right away. Like I'd be paying like for an additional like month or two of a car rental, which is incredibly expensive. And so
Yep.
like I talked to this person on the phone. They're like, well, they're like, it looks like they're looking like it might be a total, and I'm like, no, they told me it's not. Like, like, and she's like, well, you should talk to your adjuster, or like some whatever, and I'll let him know that you called. And I was like, whatever, fine. So then, like 3 days later, the adjuster calls, and I didn't answer because I was doing something, and I called him back, and he was like acting like he didn't call me or some shit, like because when
Mm,
he picked up, I was like, "Oh, yo, it's me," and he was like, "Oh yeah, what's your name? Oh, what's your car?" And I was like, "Bro,
yeah.
you literally just called me. You didn't leave a message. Like, you just called me. I have a missed call from you." He was like, "Oh yeah, it looked like you like called, you know, for claims on Friday, and like blah blah." And like he sounded like angry that I had called and didn't talk to him,
Mm,
and I was like, "Bruh." He's like, well, it sounds like you think your car's a total and it's not. And I'm like, bruh, I didn't say that. I said all. I was like, well, I'm just trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. My
yeah.
car's been there for 6 weeks, and nothing is happening. And the funny thing is, the same day he called me, 3 hours earlier, the shop called me and said that they finally got approval and will start working.
Yeah.
And this guy's like, just like, he's just like, yeah, well, you called and this blah blah blah. And I was like, yeah, well, I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. Like when I talk, he's like, well, they finally sent the estimate on like 5 days ago, so that's when I approved it. Like, well, okay, but it's been, I mean, even then, it's been fucking 6 weeks. Like, what the fuck are you guys doing? And so finally, like, my wife has some stuff she has to do this week, so I ended up renting a car finally. And here's the most fun scenario you could imagine, right? So
Mm,
I reach out to my insurance. They call me. They're like, yeah, we booked a car for you. You can pick it up whenever you want. Like, no rush. Blah blah blah. So this was on Monday, and I was like, all right. So I was like, maybe I'll just pick it up like tomorrow, or whatever. Like an hour later, the fucking rental place calls me. They're like, well, we close today at 5. Come pick it up.
mm,
And I was like, okay. So I got there at like 4:30. They gave me a car. Like I didn't pick it. They're just like, okay, here's the car. Your insurance is paying for it. Okay, great. So I signed for this car. I drive home, and then like 2 hours later, my wife wanted some Dutch Bros. I was like, oh, we'll just take the rental car. Get in the
mm.
car, get to the end of the street, check engine light comes on of the fucking rental.
Yeah.
So
And it's a rental.
so I turned around. Oh, also, okay, listen. This fucking rental smelled like cigarettes. It was fucking
It-
disgusting.
It's a
I
rental.
I
Yeah.
got a headache driving home. Okay,
Yep.
and then so I parked the car, and conveniently I got a text message from them, like automated text message saying like, oh, if you need anything, you can text this number back or call us or whatever. So I responded to
Yep.
the text, and I was like, hey, yo, the check engine light came on. I just got the fucking car, and I got a response that said, call us during business hours.
Yeah.
So the next day, I get in contact with them. They say, okay, bring the car back and exchange it. Fucking so fucking annoying because like they're fucking like 25 minutes away, bruh. And I'm just like, you guys close at 5. Like it's I have to like miss work to fucking go out there to do this shit.
Mm.
And so like I did go out there and I exchanged it and whatever. Now I got another car and hopefully, and this one smelled like body odor, so I don't fucking know, bro. Rental cars just smell like shit for some reason and have all sorts of problems for some reason. I don't fucking know. They're all beat up.
Because they're
They're
rent
all
because they're rental cars and people treat them like
bro,
shit.
bro.
Like
Why
it's
do
just you,
people are doing fucking war crimes in these vehicles or some shit? Like people are
yeah,
going
you
into
get a rental
gang
car and
wars
you
or
don't
shit.
no, I don't know about that, but you get a car and you don't give a fuck about like, the car.
I
That's just
do. I don't
kind
want to
of
have to pay for that shit if it gets
that's
fucked
good.
up.
That's good for you, but that's not. That's the thing. Like they get it cleaned and they just drop it off and they just like don't like they don't leave any like permanent contact information or anything like that. It's just it's a whole different experience, man. Like it's great that you're here taking care of your rental car, but human society is still out there, like getting high as fuck in their cars and like that guy probably did smoke cigarettes in his car. Like that's just how it works. Some people do that. Like cars used to have an ashtray in them.
Yeah, but like, bro, it's 2024. Like,
I don't
people.
know what to tell you, homie. Like, just because it's 2024 doesn't mean people have changed. If anything, people have gotten worse and more unhinged. So,
I mean, I guess, but it's like you're not supposed to, do, I get it.
they do the.
Like I know people. I know people who like rent hotel rooms and get high in them, and then have to get mad when they have to pay like the fee for smoke damage. That's like $400. I'm like, bro,
That's
you're
why you get the
stupid as fuck.
hotel
You did
room.
that shit.
That's why you get the hotel room that's allows for smoking.
Most of them don't though.
Well, there's some that still do. You just need to know where they are.
All
We can
right,
fix.
well,
Or you can go get high in the parking lot too. That's another thing you can do and take a shower
sure. Or you can
for
just,
those sneaky links.
yeah, yeah. I don't know, but bro, this whole experience has been dog shit. Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know.
insurance is a really big scam, and they treat you like shit, and they charge you way too much for it. And then they get
Yeah,
mad at you when you actually have to file a claim.
yeah. This dude was like actually angry when I called. Like I was like, bro, you called me and then you didn't leave a message, and then I call you back and you're mad at me.
Yeah,
Like what the fuck am I supposed to do? I don't know what the fuck is going on. Even now, right? I got the update from the shop like a week ago Monday. So like, right, and they said they got all the parts and they got the approval and they're gonna start work. But
yeah,
even now, I don't know the status. I don't know how long it's going to take. I don't know when it's going to be done. I know that I have to return the rental car apparently on a Tuesday before fucking noon, in less than a month from now. But I don't know if my car will be done by then. I don't know when my car will be done. I don't know anything. So I'm just fucking, hey, living life. Go, hey, whatever. Fuck it.
that's just how it be. Like like your salary, right? Or are you hourly?
I'm salary.
So you just tell them like, hey guys, sorry, I got to drive on my rental car. They didn't give me an option. Like that's just the way of things, man.
Um, yeah, but I don't like doing that.
Well,
I'm
wait,
salary,
that's
but not in the way that like your salary, like you work extra hours some days and or most days, and you can work less hours other days. I'm salary in the way that you work extra hours every day, and some days you work normal hours.
yeah,
Like there's no balance here, like in this salary thing. People are like, oh, I'm salary, I can, I don't have to clock out, so I can just leave and be gone for lunch for like 3 hours and do, whatever, and like, hey, I'll just work later, and bro, we're not salary like that. We can't just disappear, you know.
yeah. Well, if you give your manager forewarning too, like let them know we can advance. Hey, on this day, man, like my rental company isn't giving me that much of an option to return my rental car. You just plan these
Yeah,
things out in advance. Give people the
yeah,
respect they deserve by letting them know.
yeah. I mean, listen, I'm not saying I can't get approval for it. I'm just saying, I don't like doing it. Like
Yeah.
I feel obligated to work, and I don't like
Mm,
missing work for bullshit.
yeah. Well,
So
unfortunately, the bullshit always finds a way to sneak in. That's just life.
yeah, not wrong. Um, but yeah, there's that. Was there anything else? I thought I had something in my mind, but maybe I don't. Maybe I'm just stupid.
I
So
don't know. Yeah, there's nothing else really going on for me. Like, I'm glad you're finally getting resolved though, and like, you can just get past this, and like, it's frustrating to deal with, but eventually you'll get past it, and then things will be back to normal.
yeah, I mean, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
Oh yeah, I did. I mean, I put out music last week, but that's about it. Anyway.
Yep. Go check out what is it called again? Frickin' I used to have friends. No, that was the name of the
No,
album.
that was the other one. Yeah, this one is called One Sunny Day.
Yep.
Yeah. Also, yeah, that's it. Okay. So first things first. Um, George R. R. Martin put out a blog post talking about like how bad fandoms have become.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Well, he's not
and
wrong.
yeah, so this is what he said. Wait, hold on. Let me just find the article because I just took a screenshot of it, and I think I took a screenshot of the wrong section. Um, I'll find it, but in the meantime, I'll tell you that there's other news that's also out there. What the fuck? Oh, here, I'll cover this shit. So, first and foremost, we have, very cool. Sorry. Some new Disney release dates for shit. I mean, that just came out today. So, apparently Moana 2 is happening, and it's coming out this year.
Oh yeah, I
Uh,
saw some stuff about that.
yeah, I thought they were just doing the live action thing and whatever, but yeah, they're doing that. It comes out in November of this year, and then they're doing like a Zootopia 2, a Frozen 3, Toy Story 5, and then The Mandalorian and Grogu, which comes out December 18th, 2026. So people can count down to that. And then there was also an announcement of Disney partnering with Epic Games. Like,
Yeah, I saw that. No, they're trying to. They're not even partnering. They're acquiring an equity stake, if I remember reading that article correctly.
yeah, okay, yeah. Okay, so
Which is like
Disney,
investing billions of dollars over the course of a few years, like to
yeah,
get a full equity stake, like where you have a seat at the shareholder table and stuff like that.
yeah, Disney and
Just
Epic Games to create expansive and open games, and entertainment universe connected to Fortnite. So the Walt Disney Company and Epic Games will collaborate on an all new games and entertainment universe that will further expand the reach of beloved Disney stories and experiences. Disney will also invest 1.5 billion to acquire an equity stake in Epic Games alongside the multi-year project. The transaction is subject to customary closing conditions, including regulatory approvals. In addition to being a world-class games experience and interoperating with Fortnite, the new persistent universe will offer a multitude of opportunities for consumers to play, watch, shop, and engage with content, characters, and stories from Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, Avatar, and more. Players, gamers, and fans will be able to create their own stories and experiences, express their fandom in a distinctly Disney way, and share content with each other in ways that they love. They will also be powered by Unreal Engine. I don't care what people have to say about it, but that's the news. So, yeah, I thought that was pretty big, pretty interesting.
it depends. Like Disney games, they've always had like a weird game division, but video games are one of the largest entertainment mediums in the world. If I remember correctly, they're bigger than movies and the music industry combined. Like how much they generate per revenue per year. So. And Epic Games, like, they made their back off of Fortnite and shit like that. And that now they're like, publicly traded company, if I'm not mistaken. So, and like, their share price is pretty high. Same with Roblox. Like, Roblox is like, $16 a share for a shitty free online game that's actually like pretty good.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I mean, when you give people like creativity and ways to implement things, like
yeah,
people get interested. I mean, that's why Minecraft is so huge, right? Like,
it's one of the biggest game in the world.
yeah. Okay. So I guess I did screenshot the right part, but I feel like it was leaving stuff out. Anyway, so George R. R. Martin was talking about toxicity and fandom. And so this is what he said in a blog. He said, I take solace where I can, in chocolate thrones, if nowhere else, in books and films and television shows. Though even there, toxicity is growing. It used to be fun talking about our favorite books and films and having spirited debates with fans who saw things different. But somehow in this age of social media, it is no longer enough to say I did not like book X or film Y, and here's why. Now social media is ruled by anti-fans who would rather talk about the stuff they hate than the stuff they love, and delight in dancing on the graves of anyone whose film has flopped. Yeah, and then he talked about how difficult it is to finish his book he's been working on for a decade. But yeah, it's just a really sad reality that the internet is the way it is. And it's crazy
Yeah.
because like some people are so like chronically online that they have no understanding of like the real world and how people actually are and how things operate, or that like the things they do online like are actually damaging.
Yeah.
um
Words
and
have power. Like, it's like the words that people throw around on the internet are very vicious. Like, they'll tell you to go fucking kill yourself and all these other things. Like, I
yeah,
hear it literally. I hear
well,
it
I mean,
literally
they
every
say
day.
it's
So,
even worse things than that, right?
yeah,
Like,
absolutely. There's no doubt about it. Especially if you go on the wrong Discord and stuff like that. They'll be talking about like just openly how much they hate black people and all this kind of crazy shit. And most of them are just 16-year-old dudes that like watch wait they're like I think it all really connects back to like porn culture and just how much people watch it like nonstop 24/7. And like I just feel like it
it
breaks their
could, yeah.
brains and they go downhill from there. Like, and they
Yeah.
start denigrating women and they start saying all this stuff and
Honestly, I don't know where exactly it comes from, but like I think that like it makes me think about like when I was like a teenager and like I would say cringy shit or like treat people poorly like on Yahoo Messenger or whatever, but like I never said anything like crazy. Like I never like told anyone to kill themselves. I never like said anything like I'm going to do this to you or whatever. Like the worst I did was like call someone a bitch in a different language. Like, but still, even that, like, I think about it, I'm like, man, I'm glad I outgrew that shit, and like I'm not like, I don't like, I hate that I did that. Like, I feel bad for it still, like I don't, but like there's like no shame really in a lot of people online, and like people just love to hate things and talk shit and whatever, and it's like, I don't know. I get like there's a small part of this kind of thing where it's like, like, oh well, words only hurt if you let them affect you, and this and that, and like I get that, but like that's not the reality. It's like it doesn't make you weak to be affected by like literal like.
Yeah, no, some people like hear these words and they go psycho. It's just how it be.
Well, I mean, I think the best example of how shit a lot of people are is like literally where we are right now. Like, we're on Twitch, bro. Like,
Yeah,
go into some Twitch chats, and just because like some people come from a different chat, they might go into your chat and like say they want to like kill your child and just like talk shit to you for like no reason.
yeah.
Like, it's crazy the things people say online, and like, you can say, well, people the streamer should moderate their chats better, and like their chats are a reflection of the streamer. Like, bro, people are gonna be shitty because they want to be shitty.
Yeah.
Like, I watch some Twitch streams. I've never once said I'm gonna say something awful in this chat. Oh, they said something bad about this other streamer, I'm gonna go over to their stream and say something awful to them. I would never do that shit. Like,
Yeah.
there's something mentally wrong with people online for some reason, and I don't
Yeah.
know what it is. Like, people who can think for themselves, people who like are well adjusted and have some kind of brain capacity, like they don't think that way. But uh, you know it's dismissive to say, oh, it must just be children who aren't fully developed yet, because damn well there are full grown adults on the internet saying fucked up shit.
Yeah. Absolutely. Like I've been dealing with them like literally my entire life. Like it's part of the internet. Like I'm kind of desensitized now. But again, like these things. Like if you walk up to like someone who's over 40 and you start saying like I'm gonna fucking kill you. Like you should kill yourself. All this stuff like that. They would call the cops. But then on like online, like it's like just the normal. It's like the everyday. It's
Yeah.
it's very strange. It's a very strange time and place. Like where it's just mixing and matching and stuff like that.
Yeah, bro. It's like when there's this guy that I know, and he calls me a lot. This motherfucker. And sometimes, like,
Yeah.
bro, he'll say things like, "Oh, we've had enough. We're done with this shit." And I'm like, "Bro, what are you talking about? Who's we? What are you?" He's like, "Bro, have you seen this and this?" I'm like, "Bro, you live life on the internet. The real world is not like that, bro. You're 40 something years old. Like, you need to
Yeah.
understand that, like, bruh, people don't act like this. People don't talk like this. People don't communicate
And
like this, and
yeah, and
nobody actually gives a shit."
there's another important thing too that goes on where people do this thing where they get married and they have children, right? And then when you
Sure.
get married and
Yeah.
you have a child, you spend less time on the internet. You start spending less time doing all this weird, crazy shit. And like, it's just I feel like a lot of these people again, like, they're in that situation where they don't have anything left and they're and they're getting into their 40s and they can't form like a real lasting relationship with a significant other or like literally anybody. And they just go downhill and they sit in a dark room like watching weird porn and like playing extremely violent. Like I'm not a but if you're in a dark room all the time like just playing like the most violent video game you can and like just like talking shit to people on the internet and like fake killing them and stuff like that, it's just it's not healthy. It's not healthy at all. There's no doubt
Yeah.
about that. It's
I
it's
mean,
just it's just not healthy. It's not a healthy thing to do.
I just like I just wonder, like, people who have that much energy to put into that, like, to just being hateful, like, if they channeled that energy into like something positive or invested that energy into themselves, bro, it's crazy what they could accomplish. But like,
Yeah.
they're just spending all of their caring, all their life force, all their energy into just like being angry and hating things, and like, you know I don't get that. I don't know what, like, so, yeah, I mean, I wish I could speak on this like from an educated standpoint and like understand like some of the contributing factors that go into it, but like so much of it doesn't make any sense that I think just some people are just chronically online and don't understand how things are, and how
Yeah.
and the impact of the things they do and say.
Yeah. That's this what it comes down to. Like, they don't really have many emotions themselves anymore, so they can't recognize like why saying those things would be offensive to other people. Like me, my problem is I curse too much, and that's because I'm just on the internet all the time. Like, and just fucks and shit and all those other things just kind of how people like, that's how you talk on the internet. Like that's my part. Like I am chronically online, like most of these guys describe, but I've always just been able to like, stay pretty mentally well put together. Not all the time successfully, but most of the time. Usually most of the time my like fucking mental not put togetherness comes from like something happening to me RL. Like, nothing to do with what happened to me on the internet. I've like
Yeah.
doom scrolled a few times, like, where I get off social media because I'm just scrolling reels instantly, like, in the dark for like an hour or something like that, or sending you way too many reels, stuff like that. So, but I'm not
Yeah.
perfect, maybe I'm preaching to the choir a little bit, but, again, a lot of these people just say things that they wouldn't say, like, in real life to other people, like, at the dinner table or whatever. So, it's a whole different experience.
Yeah. I mean, and even a lot of the people like this, when you get them into the real world, like they kind of do in some ways behave how they would online. Like, bro, like you see like a video of some hot girl online, like with her juicers all hanging out and shit, and you're just like, holy shit, and then like you go to the gym and you see the same shit, these guys are ogling, they're fucking staring and shit, fucking pulling out their phones and taking pictures. They're those weirdos at fucking sack anime, like taking pictures of like young girls scantily clad and shit, like not even asking
Yeah,
for the picture, just taking pictures as they walk by. It's fucking weird, man.
yeah.
Um,
I like hot babes, if they're going to freaking cosplay, like, with their cheeks hanging out and stuff like that. Like, yeah, definitely don't take any pictures, but you should definitely look because they're hot babes. So,
sure, as long as they're not actual children, right?
yeah, absolutely. Like, and it's well, with sack anime, like it's always hit or miss when it's like a 17 or 16-year-old. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I tell you that one of the first conventions I went to,
Mm,
um, uh, it's a weird dichotomy of seeing like 16-year-olds dressed in like a bikini and 80-year-olds dressed as Princess Leia from Return of the Jedi. It was weird.
yeah,
It was weird.
yeah.
But hey, more power to you. Like, hey, I got respect for that. That takes a lot of confidence to do that shit. So,
Yeah.
all right. Well, in other news, apparently Pedro Pascal's Fantastic Four casting has been confirmed
Ugh,
by SAG-AFTRA.
he's in too much.
I tend to agree. I think he's very good, but yeah. So there's been all sorts of rumors and shit, but on his bio on the Screen Actors Guild website, um, it says Pascal recently wrapped production on Ridley Scott's highly anticipated Gladiator 2 and will soon begin production on Marvel Studios' Fantastic Four. It's now been removed from the website, but there are some screenshots of it out there. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see who the rest of the cast is, but that's just kind of interesting that that was confirmed through that. um, who knows? Who knows? Hey, I don't know if this is like a website like IMDb or Wikipedia where anybody can just go and fucking update the shit.
Edit it. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's that. The other big topic I want to talk about kind of stems from this article. And it's Obi-Wan Kenobi's Ewan McGregor asks fans to write Disney about season 2. Essentially, he's saying like, if fans support it, Disney will do it, kind of thing. Um,
Yeah, well,
and I'm
I'm
just,
here gonna catch me writing in about that shit.
yeah, I'm just kind of like, part of me, like, it's to me, it's a bigger issue with like the MCU, but like, obviously with Star Wars, they're gonna try to milk shit as well. But like,
Yeah.
so many things in the MCU where there's like TV shows or this or that. Like, I don't necessarily think they need sequels or season twos or whatever. Like, you can integrate these characters through other things.
Yeah.
So, like, I just don't. I get it. I feel like they're trying to do like this thing where they mirror comic books in a way, right? Where like Spider-Man has his own ongoing stuff, but then like he'll cross over in big events with all these other characters. And I think they're trying to do that kind of thing where like okay, we got all these random things ongoing and then that'll all build to this big crossover thing that's going to happen in the future. But like, bro, they don't need all these season 2s in my opinion. Like even Echo, like I don't think Echo needs a season 2. Like you can just integrate her into other projects like down the
Or make
line,
a
right?
or make a Kingpin series, that'd be cool.
Well, I mean, like, think about certain characters that are like think about the Avengers, right? We got
Mm.
the 4 movies leading up to the Avengers. Well, there's 5 if you count Iron Man 2, but we didn't get a Hawkeye movie. We just introduced him in Thor. We didn't get a Black Widow movie. We just introduced her in Iron Man 2. Like, I wish they'd do more of that and less of like we need to give all these people spin-offs in their own series and then have those series have season 2s and all this shit. Like, we don't need all that.
Yeah.
So, on the Star Wars side of it, I'm along the same lines. We don't need Obi-Wan season 2, right?
Yep.
Like, and that's not to say that if they made a season 2 it would be bad because we didn't need it, right? Like, there's a lot of things we don't need and that we don't ask for that come out and they're actually good, but like that we still just don't need it. And I kind of felt that way like during season 2 of The Mandalorian when like they announced like 13 fucking spin-offs.
Yeah.
It's just like these characters are interesting and whatever, but I don't need whatever fucking Guardians of the New Republic or whatever the fucking thing that was gonna be, right?
Yeah.
Like Ahsoka, sure, right? Like obviously Ahsoka was there for one reason, it was to make a spin-off off, right? But
Yeah.
I don't know, like it's this thing where it's like as soon as there's any like kind of commercial success to something, they're just like, well, how much can we get out of this? And they just, they're like, we're gonna announce all these sequels, all these spin-offs, all this stuff, like, and you can see that it's not been very successful.
Yeah.
Like Loki season
Yeah.
2 was nowhere near as successful as Loki season 1.
Yeah, and you just know because people aren't talking about it anymore. Like who talks about Obi-Wan these days? Like nobody. That's
Yeah,
that
except for
like the
people to
problem.
complain about like Riva or whatever.
Yeah. For me, it was always just fucking little baby Princess Leia. I fucking hated that shit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
But I'm not I'm not on board for a season 2. I love Ewan McGregor. I love Obi-Wan Kenobi. I love I mean not necessarily the series, but the character, and I love
Yeah.
Star Wars. But I don't think we need a season 2.
Yeah.
What else? Oh, apparently Gina Carano is suing Disney and Lucasfilm over her
Yeah. Yeah.
firing
I
from The
saw it.
Mandalorian, and Elon Musk is gonna pay her legal fees. So
Good for her. She gets to freaking have someone back end her entire all her legal shit, dude. That's so stupid.
yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with this shit. Like, people can work out their own stuff. I don't know. Like, Disney obviously fired her because they felt like she had some views they didn't agree with. But you know,
Yeah.
I don't care about any of that shit because, like, again, this is just me as a person. I just kind of assume that everybody in Hollywood is shitty. So then I'm not disappointed when it
Yeah.
comes out that they are.
Yeah.
So,
You're not wrong.
it's very interesting that Madam Web has been on this huge marketing push and nobody's actually going to go see the movie.
Mm.
But people keep posting posting articles about it. And yeah, so the director teased apparently some Marvel Universe connections. So take all this with a grain of salt because I'm pretty sure it's the same thing that fucking Ruben Fleischer did with the first Venom movie, where he said at Comic-Con that Spider-Man was definitely going to be in the movie, but he was never planned to be in the movie. They also said it was going to be rated R, and it never was going to be rated R. So, hey, this could all just be a marketing push. I haven't read it yet, so I don't even know what he said, but here we go. He said, "I'm really excited for you to see the film and the potential of what it could be, that's for sure. But I would probably say watch this space." That's all they said. That's supposed to
Yeah.
hype me for Marvel connection. Hey, guys, hey, something might happen. Maybe you should go see the movie so you could see if it does. Or you could not see the movie and the 15 people who did see the movie will post online and tell you that nothing happened, so you don't have to go see it.
Yeah. 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 And again, movies are expensive. Going out's expensive now, so you gotta give people a really good reason to go out. Like, I was trying to go out on Tuesday, but I was like, man, I can't just burn money like that right now, so I didn't go. And that's
Yeah.
just how it be. That is just how it be right now.
Yeah, I mean the big push I think for Madam Web is that that like Sydney Sweeney is in it and she's really popular right now. But again, I don't know what I don't know that that's enough. I think like people are obviously the same people we were talking about before. The chronically online toxic people are just gonna say, "Oh, it's just a feminist propaganda kind of shit," right?
Hmm.
And that's not why the movie's going to be bad. The movie's going to be bad probably because it's probably just going to be poorly written, have barely any plot, and try to rely on the name of Spider-Man to make it successful without having
Yeah.
Spider-Man in it. And the biggest problem with all these movies from Sony is they're trying to make Spider-Man movies with no Spider-Man. Um, and to me, that's a problem. Like, I don't care which universe it takes place in or any of that shit. I just want to. You can't make me care about Morbius if Spider-Man's not in it.
Yep.
You just can't. And unfortunately, I think that Madam Web will be another Morbius.
Yeah, you're not wrong in that guesstimation. It's just like there's no point in seeing these movies, like it sucks, but it's like the new Marvel effect, right? Like, why would you go see this movie if like there's no point? Like, we're not gonna, it's not gonna connect to anything. It's not gonna be important. There's no reason to go see like a superhero movie if like it's not connected to the other cool superhero stuff out there because at least there's still superhero stuff out there.
Yeah.
So I just don't see any point reason for anyone to see this movie other than like you're really like you're a huge fan of Madam Web, and I didn't know who Madam Web was until they made this movie. So like normies like me know who Spider-Man is. We know who like Captain kind of know who Captain America is. Like nobody knew who Iron Man was. I kind of knew Iron Man because
People
again like
knew, they just didn't care.
yeah, like I watched like those shitty Marvel cartoons, and like even before that, like I knew who like Superman and Batman. Everybody knows who those guys are. Like they're like the heroes.
Yeah. I mean, if you watched the Spider-Man animated series, you're probably familiar with Madam Web a little bit.
Yeah.
But overall, I mean, she's Madam Web isn't a hugely popular character, especially among normies, right? Like, and again, this is one
Yeah,
of those things where
exactly.
if you're
Usually
online a lot,
the normies are the people that see the movies. They're the people that make it work. Like when you get normies to go see it.
yeah, I mean, this is one
It-
of those things where like if you're online and you're a nerd and you love Spider-Man and you constantly are reading up or having conversations, like you're gonna be in circles of people who know these characters, so you're gonna think everybody knows these characters and everybody cares about this. But the reality is, the majority of people don't know. The majority of people don't give a shit. Like, one of the reasons like we're here, why I talk about news and shit, is because like this news isn't for all those crazy insane nerds who already know all this shit and just want to hear my opinion and your opinion. This is news for the majority of people who don't spend their lives online and don't
yeah,
know what's going on and maybe are interested.
yeah, exactly. Like maybe like they want to see like the story and like like oh wow they really made that Avengers movie, huh? I guess I'll go see it, and then maybe they want to go see the other ones after watching that Avengers movie. Because like that first movie, like it proved that it was like a proof of concept. It was cool to see like all these different movies tie into one movie because it wasn't just like three like to one movie leading into another like a sequel. Like
Yeah.
it was like three or four movies tying into a single movie, which was badass. And like and also really good. Like the first Avengers movie was really enjoyable to watch, and it had a lot of heart and character and stuff like that. So
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Um, so also in some sad news, right? So
mm,
back in November, I went to a convention in San Francisco,
yep.
and so a lot of the people from the Mandalorian were there, and I had talked about it, and I said that Carl Weathers was my spirit animal because there were so many
Oh
hyped
yeah.
fucking nerds there being hyped and shit, and like, bro, he was just calm. He was like, bro, you guys care way too much about this shit. For me, it's a job.
Yeah, yeah,
uh,
yeah.
and unfortunately, Carl Weathers passed away last week
Passed
at the
away.
age of 76, and that's very
Yep.
sad. Like, I don't really care about
It's
celebrity at all. Like, I don't see celebrities and want, bro. Like, listen, right? They're
mm,
filming a fucking movie right here in Sacramento. Fucking Leonardo DiCaprio's out there and shit, bro. I don't give a fuck.
yeah,
I ain't going. I don't want a picture. I don't want to meet you. I don't give a shit. Like,
yeah,
I don't care about celebrity at all. I go to concerts and not like big concerts with like Backstreet Boys and Lady Gaga where you'll never see them, never get to talk to them. I go to concerts where like there's relatively big bands for their genres and metalcore and shit. And
yeah,
during the shows and after the shows, they'll be amongst the audience. They'll be at their booths. They'll take pictures. They'll meet you. I've never given a shit about meeting any of them. I don't care about
yeah,
celebrity. I don't care about meeting famous people and getting pictures with. I don't really care about any of that stuff. I know a lot of people do. I don't. I'm there to enjoy the entertainment and then leave. Like
yeah,
that's why I go to movies. That's why I go to concerts. I'm not there to meet. I'm not there to talk. I'm not there to shake your hand. I enjoy the things you create. I don't necessarily want to meet you. Um,
yeah,
but because I saw him, at this event and heard him talk and like I don't know. It's just it's sad, and it's not that like other celebrities dying haven't been sad. Like obviously, like even with like Stan Lee died, Steve Ditko died, Alan Rickman when he passed away. It's sad because it's like these people made great work, and like they're not going to be around to do it again or to continue doing it. And again, for people who maybe don't know, Carl Weathers, he's in The Mandalorian. He played Grief Karga and then Magistrate Karga. And he was Apollo Creed in the Rocky movies, and he's done a bunch of other stuff. So, yeah, I mean, before The Mandalorian, I didn't know who he was. I didn't watch the Rocky movies. I didn't really care who he was. But, so he was very good in The Mandalorian, and just seeing him and hearing him talk and stuff, like, makes me sad that he's passed away. So.
Yeah, no, it sucks. Like, he was really good in he was really good in Rocky. Like, I grew up on Rocky. My dad really loved Rocky. So, I knew Carl Weathers before he was the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And he was Apollo Creed, and he was really, really good as Apollo Creed. And I remember when he fucking died, he got killed by the Russian. It was super sad because everybody loved Apollo Creed.
Spoiler alert, yo.
What the fuck? That movie came out in the 80s, guys. The Russian kills Apollo. First fight, okay? I don't know what to tell you guys, okay?
Damn, now you ruined the movie for me. Now I can't go see it. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, if you haven't seen it yet, I don't know what to tell you.
What else? I think I had news last week, but okay. So all we really said in like that 10 minutes was Eric Bana said he doesn't want to come back as the Hulk. Oh, big shock. Who fucking cares? Nobody wants him back anyway. And Millie Alcock has been cast as Supergirl in the upcoming DC universe. And for people who don't know who she is, she played young Rhaenyra in House of the Dragon. So,
yep.
Other than that,
she has a really nice butt, so hopefully it'll look good in costume.
Right. Sure. Yep.
So I don't know what else to fucking say.
Listen, I was
watching
House of the Dragon on my phone, and it was very dark, and I didn't see shit. She's very good. Yeah, she's very good.
Okay, so that's all that matters. Anyone can be a good actor. It just takes time and effort and love and care and all that good stuff, all that good cringe stuff. So
yeah, I thought she was very good. I mean, other than that, there's not a whole lot of news.
My sister really liked House of the Dragon, but I think that was because Matt Smith's butt was in it. So Matt
Smith is incredible. I love that guy.
Yeah, he was fantastic in Morbius, or so I've been told.
Look, I didn't see Morbius, but I know he's fantastic as Doctor Who, and I know he's fantastic as Daemon Targaryen. So
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw his butt in House of the Dragon too, and it was really nice. So
All right, well, fair enough.
Yeah, there were a lot of different butts in the House of the Dragon because they didn't show full frontal nudity like in Game of Thrones, and that's kind of lame. But it's whatever.
I think maybe at some point they do, bro. I don't fucking remember. I just know there's way too many fucking birthing scenes. Okay, I don't want to watch this birthing shit.
There was no full frontal nudity, and at least not like egregious like it was in Game of Thrones.
They go through the brothel. There's some shit.
A little bit, yeah, but that's the brothel though. I'm talking about not the side actresses.
I guess. What else? I don't think there's really anything else. Most of this news is just like them trying to make you go see Madam Web for some reason. I don't know why. I feel like all these sites got paid to like hype up Madam Web, or some shit. But also,
media sites take money so they could promote a movie that probably isn't going to do very well.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. One of them is like the director's like compares the tone to Jessica Jones. Like, bro, don't compare Madam Web to Jessica Jones, please. Like, it's trust me, it will only lead to disappointment for people who go see it. There were also Daredevil set photos that came out. A bunch of Daredevil set photos, like him with Karen and Foggy, which confirms that those characters are back. A lot of people are anticipating that they're like gonna die or something. Like I don't know why, but that's out there. And then there's a new Daredevil suit, so there's pictures of that out there. And Bullseye is back, and there's a new Bullseye suit. So there's
I saw some of those photos too. That looks awesome.
They look okay, but like you'll never really know until you see it in action, right? How good it looks or how bad it looks or whatever. Look this might be a hot take or a hot opinion, but like to me, the best Daredevil suit we ever got was Ben Affleck's. I thought that suit was like perfect. And like these new ones, maybe. Obviously they're trying to integrate things, but
I don't remember that movie too well, so I'll take your word for it.
Really? Did you not watch it?
No, the Ben Affleck one. No, I did not.
I actually quite like that movie.
Oh,
I don't know why.
actually, I remember parts. I remember parts of it. They had like a dagger throwing guy or something, right? I don't know. It was a really. It came out a really long time ago, though, right?
Well, I mean, they didn't. They had Bullseye in it. It was, Bullseye
Yeah.
was played by Colin Farrell,
Uh-huh.
and
Wow.
he was bald and he had literally like a bullseye engraved in his head, and
Yeah.
like he was on a plane and like he like used a peanut because some guy was snoring next to him and he like flicked it and it like got lodged in the guy's throat and killed him.
Oh, wow,
Um,
that's crazy.
and then he would like unfold paper clips and like hit targets with them and shit. Um,
Mm,
yeah, and he killed Electra. So
yeah.
I thought it was good. I don't
Poor,
know.
poor Electro. Like I said, it's been a really long time since I watched it, so maybe I'm
Yeah,
misremembering. I
but
remember
then
a lot of
Electra
people
came
weren't
back to
fans.
life and was in her own movie, and nobody saw that one. So,
Yeah. It's like she's about to, Madam Web's about to get the same treatment.
but Daredevil, the Daredevil movie, Ben Affleck also had a great soundtrack. Bring Me to
Mm.
Life by Evanescence. There was a Seether song. I think there was a Life. Oh, what's the band? Lifehouse, something like that. I don't remember. Bush, I think, had a song on there. It was a good soundtrack.
Sounds like it was the early 2000s when that movie came out,
It
right?
was
Yeah.
2003, 2002,
Yeah.
2003. Yeah, I remember. I remember seeing it in theaters, a couple times, uh, I didn't go to the midnight showing of that. I didn't go to the
Mm.
midnight showing of any superhero movies when I was a kid. Like, not X Men, not Spider Man. I remember seeing them in theaters, but I didn't go to midnight showings of them.
My
Um,
first midnight showing, and also like the first time I smoked weed, it was fan. It was like literally fantastic. I went and saw Tron Legacy, the new Tron movie that came out forever ago, and like, man, one, that movie is fucking amazing. If you've never
wasn't
seen it
Jared
before, you should.
Leto in that?
I know it was Jeff. He's the dude, Big Lebowski. Who's that guy? Jeff
Jeff
Bridges.
Bridges, but I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure Jared Leto's in some Tron movie or some shit.
maybe. I don't know. It's been a
I've
long
never
time,
seen him, but
but
I never
that
knew
new
why people like Tron.
Tron Legacy was really, really good. And I think people just like it because like the retro video game aesthetic. I think that first movie is definitely a little dated. There's no doubt about that. Um, those first couple movies are definitely a bit dated, but also at the same time, like Tron Legacy, like the entire soundtrack was made by Daft Punk, and it's just it
Oh,
was such a it's such a
is that why
treat.
people like it?
Well, too, and people like it because the visuals are really impressive. It told a good story about like the creator, like the creator like overtaking like the creation overtaking the creator and stuff like that, and all that good stuff. And
Hmm.
it was just a really decent movie. Personally, I really enjoyed watching it.
All
But I
right.
understand if it's not your cup of tea. Not everything's everyone's cup of tea.
Well, the first midnight showing I went to was the Phantom Menace, and I didn't get
Mm.
high because I've never gotten high. And so, but yeah. But when I saw Attack of the Clones, I went to the midnight showing of that. I felt high because, bro, I don't remember why. I remember sitting in the theater, right? The credits are rolling,
Mm.
and for some reason, there's like literally the color of your profile picture, like the orange in the background. Like I don't know if you can see it, but there's like orange on your picture, right? And so like that orange was like the background of the screen while the credits rolled, right? For some reason, I don't know why. I don't know why. It's just this theatrical release. That's how it was.
Mm.
And there were like shadows of like Anakin and Padme, like kissing and stuff, and like being like I don't know. I just remember seeing some silhouettes, and I
Being
thought
intimate.
for some reason I thought like they were there behind the screen, like that like they were actors like on a stage, and part of that is because I grew up around theater and like my mom did some plays and shit and directed and whatever, and I saw a
Yeah.
lot of plays and like live stuff, and so my brain my 8-year-old brain was like um
Mm.
but also bro I was probably just drunk off of icy juice at 3 in the morning and didn't know what was going on, so
Yeah.
but that's probably the highest I've ever been because I thought there were legit actors behind that screen. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, kids also believe really stupid things, so there's that too. Like, that could be part of it, part of what was going on.
Okay. Well, you didn't have to say I was a stupid kid, but all right, sure, sure.
Oh,
All right.
all kids are stupid, dude. Like they believe weird, strange things, and like like think things that are non-normative and all that kind of stuff, and they get programmed by everybody around them to believe weird things. So,
Yeah,
you know,
that's true.
but
That's true.
it's I was a really dumb kid. That's just how it be because kids are dumb. Like,
Well,
their brains are literally not fully formed yet.
I'm
Like,
still dumb.
we're all dumb in our own special ways for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, there's not much else to talk about. Something I might do at some point in the future.
Mm,
Phoenix, who's been on our podcast a couple times,
mm,
she's recently watched the Lord of the Rings films.
mm.
So
Cool.
so I might have a conversation with her talking about them. And the way my brain works, I have to kind of shut off because I want to try to approach it from a movie only perspective with no
Yeah.
book input or anything like that. Like unless I'm asked directly like about the books, I want to look at it only in the narrative frame of the movies, which is
Yeah.
really challenging.
Well, it's a
um
healthy way to do it too. It is challenging, but also like, this is again like normal people, like this is their experience. Like this is how they get their experience.
yeah, yeah, I mean most people haven't read the books and whatever knowledge they have is from
Hmm.
reading online, right? Like
Yeah.
it's difficult for me because like I watched the movies first growing up, right? Like I watched the movies, and I've seen them all probably like 30 to 50 times each, right?
Yeah.
But in the past, I'd say 6 years, I've watched the movies once and I've read the books
Mm.
3 times. Uh, like I reread the books like every couple years, so like the books are always more fresh to me than the movies, but the movies are always more ingrained in my memory because I've seen them so many times and I watched them at a young age so many times.
Yeah.
So I'll try my best to do that. But I don't know. Like she said, she has to rewatch Two Towers because she was making dinner or something during that movie, and she didn't understand the why everybody was so hyped about Helm's Deep. So,
Oh.
um, but yeah,
Is she
yeah,
watching them with someone, or is she
yeah,
like you
yeah.
said
She's
she was
watching them
like she got a new
with her
new
boyfriend.
boyfriend or
Yeah,
whatever?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
I think
So
I don't know
maybe.
if they're like labeled or not, but like
Oh.
you know, whatever.
Yeah.
It's her,
Whatever.
yeah, her partner,
It's her life.
her
Yeah.
friend. I don't fucking know. Some just
Yeah.
a guy that she's interested in wanted her to watch the movies, and for some reason told her to watch fucking the Hobbit movies first. But yeah, so she watched all the Hobbit movies and then she watched Lord of the Rings, and obviously she preferred the Lord of the Rings and whatever. So eventually we'll talk about it, but not sure when and whatever. But I'll arrange it with her. So
Yep.
yeah,
I'm keen to join that conversation too. I always love to talk about some Lord of the Rings and stuff like that. So,
yeah.
just
We'll
let
see
me
what
know.
she wants to do. So
Yep.
but yeah, other than that, I mean, I'm also gonna try to do like just more content as I can because
Mm.
I don't know. I feel like there's always some stuff to say. I just don't know what to say a lot of times. So
Yeah, you could definitely pre-script things and everything like
oh,
that.
I hate
That always
that.
makes. Oh well, or you could at least try and outline what you're doing.
Yeah. Well, my wife is starting a podcast.
Everyone's got their podcast.
Well, she's doing it with some friends, and like they have all worked in mental health for a long time, and so they want to discuss some common things and like kind of like share things and talk about various topics with therapy and mental health and all this shit.
Good.
And so I'm
Good for
gonna
them.
help her as like on the technical side, obviously. But I've made it very clear, or at least I hope I've made it very clear, that the way I do things is like this. Like I treat everything I do as live because
Mm.
well we're live here, but even if we weren't, even if this was recorded on my computer in GarageBand, literally as we finish, I would hit the space bar to stop the recording. I'd go export the shit and I'd upload it. I don't edit. I think like there's something like more pure or beautiful about just like kind of raw shit, And
Yeah.
like I want all like I want my podcasts to feel like a conversation with your friend, right? Because that's what it is to me. Like the whole idea behind podcasting for me, the reason I started podcasting is like I'd have conversations every week at a comic book store with friends, and I was like, well, why not just do that but record it?
I
And
like me
so
and you talking shit about nerd stuff. That's
yeah,
primarily what we do. We don't really
Yeah, there's no
That was it.
script. There's no agenda unless it's like we watched this movie, so we're gonna talk about it or whatever. Like we go on
Mm.
tangents because we're nerds and things relate to other things, and we talk about those
And we're
things.
and we're passionate, like we give a shit.
Yeah.
That's like
So
that's an important thing.
yeah, but I don't edit, and you can say it's because I'm lazy, and you know what? You're right. It is.
Yeah.
But obviously, like I believe in just doing like live conversation like with a friend. Like that's the whole thing. And so I'm not gonna edit her podcast either. If she wants to edit it, she can edit it. I'll set up all the mics for her. I'll run the interface. I'll run the volumes. I'll whatever. I'll do all that shit to make sure everything's fine. I recorded a bunch of theme songs and they finally picked one. So I did that for them as well. And yeah, if you
Good.
guys are interested, it'll be a podcast. It'll come out towards the end of the month. It's called Deconstructing Narratives, and they're gonna just break down a bunch of stuff about mental health and therapy and transgenerational trauma and shit like that. So
Cool.
yeah,
Could be cool.
yeah. So this should be good. And I recorded a review on this podcast for Blue Eye Samurai with her, so she could like practice a little bit, get some experience, and like feel safe to just speak her mind.
Yep.
Because a lot of people who don't podcast like feel nervous. They feel like they don't have much to say, or people won't be interested in what they have to say, or this or that. And it's like you just gotta sit down. You just gotta fucking talk. That's it.
Yep.
You're not sitting there talking to an audience of thousands. You're just talking to me.
Yep. You're just talking.
Yep.
It's all podcasts. When you get up to 1,000, then maybe you gotta be a little bit more tactical with the things that you say and the shit that comes out of your mouth, so you don't make people uncomfortable in your audience.
Yeah,
Other
but
than
you also
that,
can't control that. I mean,
Yeah.
again, on the internet. People will find a fault with literally anything you say, no matter what.
Yeah.
So
Well, I say plenty of stupid shit all the time.
yeah, same. But anyway, we'll wrap up there. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any thoughts, you can let us know. You can reach out through anything. I mean, Twitter, fucking whatever. I don't fucking know. You can leave a review on whatever. You can leave a comment on YouTube. You can follow. You can like. You can subscribe. You can do all those things. We appreciate it. We'll see you next week. Much love. Bye bye.
Bye.